Do you have old, tired enterprise software? Well, you could upgrade to new, efficient cloud-based software. But why bother when you can use the SaaS-O-Matic 2020 from PLM 411? All you do is simply take some old, traditional enterprise software, then a healthy dose of PowerPoint, add a little bit of that special smoke, and some mirrors, and just a little bit of that special marketing magic. Then, put it in to the SaaS-O-Matic. That's some good software.
Cloud software offers significant savings and economies of scale because the software provider does things once for everyone. Hosting or putting traditional applications over the web may have benefits, but they can't match the value of true, native cloud solutions.
Hi, and welcome to PLM 411. I'm Jim Brown with Tech Clarity. Today I'm joined by Mark Osgood of Excellims. Today we're going to talk a little bit about your PLM journey and some of the things you learned along the way. So maybe just to start, why was PLM important to Excellims in the first place?
Okay, so like many other companies, we did start with a spreadsheet-based solution, and that got us a little ways down the road. But at some point, the spreadsheets just aren't going to be able to hold all your data together in any way that makes sense. And we needed a database solution, and we wanted something that was really designed for manufacturers, and we didn't want to reinvent any wheels.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And you moved down a path where you were actually going to more modular solutions, and that complexity really sort of further broke this spreadsheet-based approach, right?
Yeah, that's right. So the real killer for the spreadsheet is when you start to have, say, many modules reused across several different products, and the spreadsheet just really isn't set up for that.
Right.
You quickly end up with a system that maybe only one expert operator can interact with, which you can imagine for a lot of reasons is not ideal.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you started looking for a system, and as you went out and looked at things, you didn't get very far the first round. Why is that?
Well, let's see. There were a couple of starts. Our first start into this, we looked and went knocking on doors, and what we found initially were really on-site hosted systems.
Right.
And initially, and that was not going to work for a couple reasons. One, the cost was very high just for an on-site implementation. But also the IT infrastructure was just going to be something we couldn't manage to bring online, because as a startup, I'm running the phone system, I'm doing the engineering, I'm running the servers and all that, and it's not something that's even possible really. So costs from a number of different angles are too high. So that was our first look. The second look was getting into we then learned about SaaS offerings.
Right.
Sounds very attractive, and that was really the first exercise, and that was learning about the differences between different kinds of SaaS offerings.
Right.
And we in the end learned about what it means to be cloud hosted versus cloud based or true cloud application.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the experience of your first solution. Was not truly architected for the cloud, so it was more of a traditional system hosted on the cloud. What was the experience with that?
Right, okay, so the first system we tried to implement actually was exactly that. So you pretty much just had the database servers running somewhere halfway across the country or something. Right. You installed a whole lot of client software on your computers, and really the pretty simple. The killer was just latency. So every single interaction that our client software had to make with the servers were just had too much latency in them, and that really caused us to go back to the drawing board, and we really had to shelve that because it's not workable. And I knew that if we started to roll that out further, we were going to have people coming back from the technicians on up. We're going to say the system is not something I can interact with.
Right. And then you looked again and found really a cloud-based system.
Mm-hmm. So the world kept turning and people kept toiling away, and the second group that we looked at was just a world different. So first thing we noticed was we really wanted to kick the tires on anything we tried at that point, because we felt like we'd kind of in a way been burnt by this idea, and so right away what we saw was that we didn't have any client software to install. It was all browser based, and so we actually could right away interact with sample databases and all this, and very quickly we could tell that this was something we could work with. The response times were right there. The problem wasn't that the data was in the cloud. The problem that we'd had before was really that this sort of broken structure that was meant for everything to be integrated on site, but it had been kind of glued together to be a SaaS offering. And so when we started interacting with something designed from the ground up to be SaaS, it really actually worked and didn't require us to install any software. We had the response times we could work with, and it was just a different world.
So really what I think people that are watching this can learn from this is that you've gone through first finding the complexity and realizing you needed a solution, to seeing very high barriers to entry of traditional solutions, finding a SaaS solution that looked like it had those barriers lowered, but it really wasn't a true cloud solution.
That's right.
And then, as you said, time marched on and people kept working, and there's a true cloud solution, and it sounded like that really met the need. So hopefully some other people can learn from you and not trip in as many potholes along the way. So.
I hope so. That's not everyone has to learn all the same mistakes again. And,
Great.
Very
Thank
nice.
you very much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.